All right, this is the August meeting of FairTV. We have all of the commissioners with us, as well as a few guests, so let's get started. Hey, Quinn, will you tell us, hopefully you have the agenda in front of us?
I do. Call to order with
First
the 7:06. You want to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. What we do, Patrick, is when we do these for real, we take a picture of a selectman and we do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you want to look at a flag, you're also welcome. If you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to. But we all just got to say the Pledge of Allegiance. By the way, we have regards from Andy.
Thanks. I've got a flag right.
All right. So
front.
Yeah. So let's start. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. To the republic.
One nation under God, indivisible.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Okay. Next item.
All right. So, 2A, Officers Report. Mr. President.
I got nothing. Obviously, we're still in the COVID lockdown. We do have one item that we will discuss under the new business that affects Jerry, as well as all of us, but we need to talk about it. I think we're going to be happy with what we talk about because I think it's taking us in the direction that we want to go. So we'll attack that under the new business. Next item.
Excellent. As Secretary, is my next report. I also have no new info at this time. Jerry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is there any word on whether or not at some point in the 2020 we're going to be actually doing meetings in Town Hall?
You mean live
No,
meetings?
because
Live meetings, live in-person meetings. I didn't know if there's any word on that or not. I mean, there may not. I'm just curious.
No, I had a conversation earlier in the week with Jennifer, and there's no change at this time. Because nobody knows what's going on yet. But there's
that's
no,
fair. I just whether or not there was any sort of
I would have
protocol.
thought in a couple of months, but I don't think there's any decision been made yet.
As I said earlier, guys, next Wednesday, the 26th, I believe, the inland wetlands has to have a public hearing in regards to this. I think the agenda item is the hockey rink at Sacred Heart University, and they felt compelled. They felt compelled to have a live meeting. So because there's presenters and whatnot, so we are going to be covering that. But as Stuart said, there's no rush, at least to my knowledge, about doing live meetings. However, maybe if they see this, I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm not that eager to do them, quite honestly, but we will do them if, they're handled properly. We'll have to see how this one comes on.
Got it.
When they're doing a meeting, it's kind of closing the door after the cows have left.
Well,
my only thought was, in terms of our FairTV meetings, we are small enough that we can socially distance. But if they're not doing anything in Town Hall, I'm not going to rock the boat on that.
No, but what I'm hoping that it will open up in the next couple of months. But like I said, they're not quite sure yet what they want to do. I think it's mostly because there's no worries. Next item, Mighty Quinn.
Indeed. I want to see you guys again.
Yeah.
All right, so that moves us to 3A, the production manager report.
All right.
Real quick.
Here you go. As I just said, originally that inland wetland meeting was supposed to actually happen this week, but they moved it to next week. We have received the Cable Advisory Council grant. We got everything we asked for, plus an extra $571. I have
what was the
put
total,
in.
Jerry?
Pardon?
What was the grand total?
The grand total, just a second. Let's see here. The grant total from the Cable Advisory Council was, where's that? Oh, on the education side, we got $7,973. And on the government side, we got $7,745. And that includes the the extra 571 split equally between the two accounts.
Thanks, Jer.
All right, I'm going to go back to my notes. I have put in the purchase orders on that. We've also put in purchase orders on all the elements for the PEG-PISA grant, that being the new head end, as well as the new, let me see, for the new head end, for a complete set for a TriCaster meeting system, which includes 4 remote-controlled PZT cameras, new decoders for our web stream, and some ancillary equipment so that we can work with a pair of remote control cameras with our older TriCaster 40s. So that's all been sent in as of today to the vendor, and hopefully in about a few days I'll hear back from them and we'll get some delivery and install dates.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. There's going to be some changes, but I stuck with familiar hardware and software so the team won't have too much trouble transitioning. And,
I think that was the best thing. We had talked about that, but I think that was the best thing because why change horses midstream?
Right.
Right, exactly. And also it's been very reliable equipment. I mean, the original Latronics device lasted us going on to 12 years now. So, we're doing okay with that gear. And hello?
And if I can interject for Patrick, just so you know, that the reason that I asked you about your experience is because we are a television production area. We are not AV people. The biggest problem that I have is that the town government thinks that we're just AV people, that when something has to happen, we just roll out the cart with the projector on it. But we are not that. We are, and they don't seem to understand that. So that's what I'm trying to work on.
Well, I understand. I'm with you, and I don't come from that background. So, in fairness, full disclosure.
Well, we can use you for numbers.
Oh, trust me, we could definitely use you for numbers. That's big.
Yes,
that's
especially for raising of funds and things of that ilk. We could definitely use the assistance.
Oh yeah,
yeah. All right. I'm a great communicator, so happy to help.
I send everybody, our monthly Excel sheet. These are not just expenditures, but they do project out to the end of the month. Sometimes they can change by then, but I usually correct it. I do correct it, and everything. The starting balance is at the top of each monthly report is the correct numbers and whatnot. So, but again, the Excel sheet is as much a projection of expenditures for each month as it is what we will spend. So just so when you read that, you kind of get an idea, where we're at financially. But, they are subject to change depending on cancellations or those kinds of things.
Understood.
So that's pretty much my story, except for 2 other items that are going to be discussed under new. Well, I did send everybody the link for the COVID-19 piece. Did you guys get a chance to look at it?
Yep. I just got 2 comments. Yeah. I got 2. I liked it, but I just have 2 comments. First, that one kid with the red shirt was the only one who did not wear a mask.
We just talked about that before you got on.
And the other thing I have, the other question I have is, do we have to credit your arm? I saw you got a credit at the end, but do we have to credit? We have to put a little arrow. Jerry's arm.
Well, Jerry has a story on that kid.
Really?
About why he wasn't wearing the mask.
This wasn't the kid who's hiding from the CIA, and he's been running for 30 years.
Jerry.
Oh no, that's the movie The Future.
It's one of those, isn't that?
Yeah.
I was doing Jim Quinn. We would, I interviewed him, and I said, "Well, gee, how come you don't have a mask on?" He said, "Well, I did, but I'm downtown with my sister, and she wanted to go into a store, so I let her borrow it.
So that's
it was altruistic. That's right. It was altruistic.
Very much so.
Really got it.
Okay, next item.
Okay,
so we finished the PM report?
Yep.
Yeah, I have just the one thing for new business.
We'll hit new meetings in a minute. First of all, we'll go to 4A, which is approval of the minutes. I forwarded to everybody the old July minutes for approval. I'm going to make a motion to approve the July minutes. Oh, you're right. I will second that in.
Okay.
All those in favor? Patrick, I don't have your contact information. So if you can get that to me at some point, then I'll be able to forward all this stuff to you. What I usually do is forward it to the entire commission, but I did not have your contact information as of today.
Yeah, and who's this?
That also.
This is Jim?
That's Jim. That's the Mighty Quinn.
The Mighty Quinn? I thought I sent it back to you. You're Mighty Quinn at AOL, right?
Yes, it is. Oh, you just sent it to me?
I sent it back to you. Is it a reference to the Grateful Dead's Mighty Quinn, by the way?
I may have. I answer just about anything nowadays. If you send it to me, I'll track it down. But yeah, it's mightyjq@aol.com.
I will resend it.
I appreciate it because I get several hundred emails a day, and I may have passed by.
Yeah, sure. No, I'll get it right back.
Because when the Mighty Quinn
much
gets, love in advance. Yeah.
There you
go.
go.
Next item.
Did we approve the minutes? Can we just get a formal approval of the minutes? Good.
No, you had a second.
All those in favor? All those in favor?
Say aye.
Aye.
Good.
Aye. All those against? All right.
Hearing none. Moves us on to Section 5, which is unfinished business. I don't think we have any.
Do we have any? I don't think we have any.
I don't think we do. We were talking the last time about the logo and the business cards. That would be unfinished business.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I have a couple of questions that, if you don't mind, we could possibly answer right now on the contact business card we're talking about.
Yeah.
What would be the email? So the card, Patrick, is we were just talking about when Jerry's out, doing his thing. Often he gets a lot of people at a meeting, for example, who will come and say, "Hey, you should do this at FairTV," or "I have an idea for you," or so on and so forth. Or "I'm not happy that the meeting wasn't recorded on such and such a date." So the idea here is for Jerry to be able to say, "Hey, thanks for connecting with us. Take this card, contact the commission, and we will regroup on any inquiries and sort of to give Jerry something that he can give people to say thank you. We know you're thinking about us. I've got a job to do here today. Leave me alone."
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
So Jerry, what's the website or what's the email address?
FairTV has an email address. It's fairtv@fairfieldct.org.
So that should be on the bottom of the card.
Okay. Yeah. And are we limiting it to no phone? There's nowhere for anyone to call. They want to contact us. It's all about email.
We do have an office number. We have an office number, 203 256 88. What is it? 8822. 8824.
I think it's 8822. Yeah. And by the way, that exchange. If you want to talk to anybody, 8824.
Shit. What is it?
Hey Jerry, can you give me that whole number one more time? Because I missed a couple of numbers there. I'm getting some static on the line.
203 254 8826.
Got it.
And by the way, obviously the 203 and then the exchange will get you into the town government. So really all you need is the last four digits to any office. Like if you want to talk to Jennifer or Brenda or something, they all got an extension. But that exchange is the main exchange for the town government.
Got it. Thank you. So yeah, those are the two questions. And what I'll do is I'll finish the design and I'll just send it off. And if you guys approve over email, I'll get them ordered. And I'm sorry it took a little while,
great.
But I ran into these couple of silly questions, and it was 3 days before our meeting. I just figured I'd wait until we were on.
No worries. No worries. But go to Vistaprint. It's cheap. It's cheap using Vistaprint if you want, unless you have another place to go to.
Actually, no. I'm exactly on Vistaprint, and they have a little design thing. I could shoot you guys an email now while we're on the phone and show you the front of the card. It's very simple. We're keeping it very simple.
So stick figures. I hope. Stick figures.
Sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
Figures for the business cards.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be a great idea. If somebody wants something covered, we can just give them the card, say, hey, contact here.
I agree.
You know, and you can say, hey, let's see if you can cover it. You know, do we have the time? Do we have the equipment? You know,
do I need to make a motion? Do I need to make a motion that we want to go further with this and let Alex take care of it? Do I need to do that, or can he just do it?
We've already done that.
Do it.
Actually.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Okay.
Next item.
So as for the logo, I think we had discussed last time that we're going to sort of let that sit for a little bit, and we're going to just work on the card for now.
Yeah, and if nothing else, just use the town logo. That other logo was coming.
Right. So
No,
we can use the old one for now.
Yeah.
We can always. I'm sorry. We can always go over again and
Sure.
Yeah.
You cannot use the town logo.
Yeah, the town logo's fine.
Well, no, you
Yeah,
can't.
the town logo's fine.
No, you can't use it.
Why not?
Do what?
The town doesn't want us using their town seal logo.
Was there a
All right,
rationale for
we'll go back to
that?
the figures.
Because we really aren't a town department.
But we're a town commission. How is that not sufficient?
Well, I
mean, we don't have to. I mean, I'm just curious as to where the breaking line is.
Well, I don't know. I didn't explore it. They told me to take it off the stationery, which I did.
You know
what?
Not make waves.
I'm gonna talk to Jennifer tomorrow, and
I mean,
arrange
but we don't need to make waves on this. I don't think this is a big ticket item. If they say no, then that's no big deal. Let's not.
Yeah, that's
make
fine.
waves
We'll
on
go
it.
back to stick figures. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Exactly right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Next item.
That brings up to new business. New business.
Perfect.
6.
Perfect. The one thing that we want to talk about, which I will hand the floor over to Jerry and his arm, and he can explain what he's starting to do, which I really think is going to be a good thing.
Okay, but first, Nick, you still there? Nick?
He fell asleep probably.
Okay, yeah.
Hello.
No, I just want to make sure, does anybody have any input for Nick on the COVID stuff?
No, just keep up the good work. I mean, obviously there was some work
Other than what we discussed, I'd like to see, we covered the young adult market in terms of the man on the street interview. If we could get a couple of the older section, shall we say, more mature people to ante up for a man on the street, that'd be good.
Right now, we just can't have any politicians. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. I just think the general public I think the entire article, the entire YouTube piece was like 19 and under.
Right.
So if we can get anybody, more mature staff.
There was
no, except for that one guy. That one guy that talked.
There was one guy who was older. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there was a guy who owned a store downtown. There was a guy who was around 30. And then there was another guy in the Puma T-shirt. He was probably 45 or 50.
Oh.
So, I mean, yes, I do want more older, participants. But
right.
I also feel that older people may be more inclined not to participate in the interview. We did notice the general of them declining, maybe for safety reasons. But as far as the video, it was just something I quickly put together just to show you guys that we are making progress. Obviously, there are some. I'm going to fix the lighting, and then there were some framing. That I do have to adjust. Like you said that the arm is in shot. It's in every shot, but that's an easy adjust. I just haven't got to it.
No, you know what? It's not a problem, and I liked it, and it looked good. So
thank you.
It was good, excellent B-roll.
Excellent, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, hey, Alex here. I thought it was great. I mean, what I just genuinely liked about it is that it was just talking to people, and it just came off like, hey, we're just kind of checking in. We're just taking the temperature, a snapshot of what's going on. And from that perspective, I thought it was really cool. Nice job so far.
And the venue being the gazebo area was excellent.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, yes, I thought so, too.
So that's fine.
It was Jerry.
Keep doing that, and we're in good.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick. And let's go on to Phil. You still there?
Yes, I am. You know what? Real quick. Let me just ask regarding the kid who wasn't wearing a mask. Great kid. He was well spoken and everything. But I wonder, do you think it's the wrong thing to have him on without his mask? Do you think? Cause
you know what we could do? We'll Photoshop a mask in with a little advertising in it.
Yeah. Well, it has nothing to do with completely aside from any safety concerns or anything like that. It's only because he's the only one in the whole video without one, and I wouldn't want to see anyone have any ammunition to right. or anything they could hangnail, so to speak, that they could grab onto and say, hey.
Nobody would ever do that, would they? Nobody would ever tell us to pull it down, would they?
I'm not speaking from experience, clearly, okay?
Well,
the new guy's just sitting here quietly.
Yeah.
Well,
and if
I think that, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think there's something to glean from, as I said earlier, the kid actually said he had a mask, but he lent it to his sister so she could go in a store. Now, granted, we didn't put that in the cut, but the other side of it is that we could, as we get some more stuff and whatnot, we can use some of this as voiceover, over B-roll,
Also, I think if you get one or two more people without masks, then he doesn't look so weird that he's the only one.
Right.
Because then now you got people with masks and people without masks, and I think it's a better mix that way.
It's pretty interesting. There were some people who weren't wearing masks who put on a mask just for the interview.
Really? Okay.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Because I've noticed downtown a lot of people they're forgetting about all this stuff. They're walking around without masks. They're walking too close to each other, and they don't care.
It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So,
Jerry wants is to raise that awareness, not necessarily by highlighting it, but there it is. Here is Joe Blow, and this is what he's doing. You discern from that what you will, and when we get it put together, I think we'll have a story.
What's the length that you eventually want?
I don't know. I don't think
minutes,
much more than 15 or 20 minutes tops.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be fine.
We don't want commercials.
Well, we don't have commercials breaking it up, so that would be fine.
Right. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is a good idea. I don't know if I need to do a motion, but we definitely want to go further with this because you never know who's going to pull up one of these meetings because they're going to complain. So we can say it's out there. In my mind, I'm approving this, that Jerry should go further. I think it's going to be apolitical, and it's more about what's going on in the world, which I think people need to be cognizant of, and I think it's going to be a good thing for us to do that and put it out there. Hopefully we'll get more people to watch FairTV, and hopefully they'll like it.
You want to make the motion, boss?
I'll make the motion that we go further, that Jerry, as an executive producer, he should continue on with this. So I'll make the motion.
I will second.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All those against? None? All right.
Okay. Phil,
hey,
are you still with us?
Thank you very much.
Yes,
sir.
Can I ask a quick question on the video? Do you think, Stu, in your experience working with everybody in the town, or James, do you think it would be worth just showing it to a couple of the town representatives to get their take on it? Is that something you think that would be or better to do?
I think
I don't really have a problem with that, other than I don't know if I want to give them editorial control.
No, they definitely don't. No editorial license from them, and I want to wait until it's a complete piece,
right.
because I guarantee what's going to happen. Somebody's going to find fault with it, as they do with everything in this town.
My recommendation is
you know what? I'm actually thinking that we just put it on. You know what? It's one of those better to ask for forgiveness than for permission, because
That's
I think
true.
if we do it,
I mean, the only way to do it would be to go to the finished product and then before airing.
Yep. I agree.
Give a quick run through.
Yep.
But then they get to see the finished product. They don't see anything before that.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, we can post it and send them the link and have them take a look and see what they say.
Yep.
You know.
So you continue on, and if I hear anything, I'll let you know. But I don't think they're going to bother us. But you never know. You never know. I mean, I can't imagine that anybody would ever call and say, "Take this down," or "Don't do it." They just wouldn't do that in this town.
Well, anyway,
Jerry, Jim Quinn here. If you need me for anything on the documentary, I will shuffle off the old voiceover work and help you out if you need it, or if you need anything else, just let me know.
Oh, that would be great. Hey, you know what? You could be the man in the street. You wear a trench coat. You can have the microphone.
I haven't filmed the commercial in a couple of years, but I'm ready to go back in.
You'll be great. You'll be great. All right. Any more items, or are we kind of done?
You know, can maybe we should all have a cameo in the video, wearing like a trench coat and a low down hat. And
each one of us. Nobody will. Or what we can do is have Nick walking down the street and then he bumps into a guy wearing a fur coat, and then when the guy turns, two of us just no, that's been done already. Never mind.
Well, you do need some kind of logo for the Commissioner Series programs.
Yeah. Patrick, just so you're aware, I'm a lawyer by day, but I also have a side gig that I do some acting on the side. I do industrial videos, commercials, and occasional movie spots. So it's not a lot of work nowadays, but I have done some in the past.
His stage name is
Jim talking?
That's the Mighty Quinn talking.
Fire Marshal, because he's had a pretty long day, too.
Well, I look forward to meeting you all. You sound like a fun group.
We're diverse.
Yeah. His stage name is Ned Ryerson.
It occurs to me that it occurs to me that I haven't had the opportunity to meet you, Stu, in person. The first meeting I attended, you were with us on the phone.
On the phone, right? On the phone.
And then the next meeting was all of this. So we'll look forward to meeting everybody.
I keep asking Jennifer, when are they going to open up Town Hall? Because I want to have, and you know what, Mighty Quinn, I agree with you that we could do a meeting. I'm going to ask.
Well, there's
because it's only a few.
There's so few of us.
Yeah. I'm going to ask.
What if we did a meeting outside somewhere? I mean, would that be allowed, or is that kind of like because it's
just has to be? You know what? If we were all together, then we don't have to record it.
Yeah. We never recorded the old meetings when we were physically present, so I'm not sure.
I'm gonna find out. I think that would be great if we do the next one somewhere. That'd be great. All right, I'm gonna work on that.
I look forward to it.
All right. Any other?
I still have my membership to the Gaelic American Club, so we can meet there.
I'm on the meeting.
That's funny.
You guys, are we ready for this, Fire Marshal?
That's right.
Jerry, would you mind when we're done with the call here, Jerry, just sending an email so that we're all on with Patrick as well, so that I can kind of reply to give everyone the sort of the logo design, the business card design. You guys can all comment on it.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then, Jim, you would get it from Jerry. That satisfies
you. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Now I'm moving on to slide requests. Jerry, do we have any?
No, wait a minute, guys. We need to talk to the Fire Marshal here. He's been very patient.
Oh, I didn't realize
apologies.
He's still on.
Hello, how are you, gentlemen?
Fire Marshal, I'm glad. Hopefully, you put up with us for 30 minutes. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
It's been very good, and I have zero acting experience. So, but,
all you have to do is act natural.
Yes. Members of the Commission, thank you very much, though. Thank you for having me this evening. So my name is Phil Higgins. As Jerry mentioned, I'm the Fire Marshal with the town of Fairfield. Myself, Lieutenant Edmondson, and Fire Inspector Ference are the members of the Fire Marshal's office. Some of our responsibilities, obviously, are fire investigation, plan review, code inspection, as well as code enforcement. But one of the things that we do on an annual basis is fire prevention and public education. As we are meeting remotely this evening, we're kind of planning ahead. We meet with both public schools every year, and we meet with the first graders where we actually go out to the schools or they come to the firehouse. This year we're most likely going out to the schools based on our buildings being locked down or closed to the public. Our third grade program is a life safety trailer program that we usually bring the trailer to the schools for public education, and then we do a fourth, fifth grade presentation as well as a sixth grade presentation. I'm kind of planning ahead because looking at the future of this COVID pandemic, the school system's starting in a hybrid format September 8th. As long as the hybrid remains a hybrid, and as long as students are in the school, we have no issue with going to the schools to deliver these programs. However, if the students are to work remotely, that kind of, doesn't allow us to get into the schools. So I was curious if FairTV would be an option so that we may film the third grade life safety trailer, a fourth and fifth grade presentation, as well as a sixth grade presentation. Each one is approximately a 30-minute shoot.
I think that'd be terrific.
I love it. Both my kids are in that range.
Okay.
Michael, but Mighty Quinn, we're not putting them on camera because I'm not paying them.
No, that's right.
Both
the Quinn boys will be very helpful. They're in fourth grade and seventh, so they'll be the prime candidates.
Do we got to pay them SAG-AFTRA?
Absolutely.
So listen, Philip, I've been doing some thinking about this, and I also have taken. Did you ever locate the piece that I did a few years back with Kim Fawcett, and we did the trailer and all the elements that you just went through? We actually put together a video that ran about a half an hour that covered all these elements. But I understand, like, if you want to do a virtual class, then the way it would my suggestion is what we can offer is we can do a live session, like let's say at a firehouse, and you can be there as the individual, presenting and whatnot, and you would be online with whatever grade level, and when appropriate, we would have created visual elements to support your live, your virtual class. So in other words, we could do it a couple ways. We could shoot a whole class and put these elements in there, or we could do it as a virtual class where you're in the classroom virtually and we support you through our television structure, but online with supplemental imagery that we would create. But which would allow you, this second format, the virtual sort of experience, would allow you to interact with the kids. If we just shot a show and replayed it, unless we could do that. And then on the end side, there would be a live virtual element where you could interface with the actual student. You understand?
I do understand. My only question, sir, would be how do we virtually interact with students unless we are bringing students such as your children?
Well, here's the thing. Like, we would be able to tie into the network, whatever you're interacting virtually with, because homeschooling or distance learning, which is what we've all been doing, is partially that. The teacher's on camera and presents the lesson, and the kids are watching and they interface. So it worked the same way. There'd be some logistics to tie into the network, but however they do their virtual classroom, we could interface with.
We would be added into that, and then we'd be able to pull their faces and your face and do this. So, I think there's a few details to work out, but I think it can be done, and I think it'll be great.
Or we can just go ahead and make these programs. But we have to sit down and, of course, script it out and whatever. But the idea of trying, if we can, if it's feasible, to create the virtual structure, then you actually have an interactive product in the end, program in the end.
Sure. I'm just thinking
definitely
logistically.
Yeah, I think we'd have to work through the permutations.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry, Alex here. So I recently did an interactive webcast, where we brought in like very nice cameras and an audio engineer and the whole bit. And I mean, it was great and fun, but it was complicated. And I'm sure
it is like complicated.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I like. I don't know how you handle it. You like through the broadcast system, or how would that work?
Well, we could do it a couple of ways. Now, granted, the live virtual interface is something that we have to see what we can do as far as the school district. Again, they use like Google platforms and whatever to do these virtual programs. So I would have to see what Google can offer us as far as patching in. Now, if it's not possible, the only way we can patch in is simply through the one, the camera shot of the presenter, and we don't really have an opportunity to add the elemental graphics or whatever that are part of the presentation. Then, yeah, we have to rethink it, and I think Phil has probably got, on the right, we can create a program that is, replayable. But it doesn't have an interactive.
Well, just for sake of argument, like if it were to be right now, just like let's film this and create like a little piece of media that can be played in the classroom at any given time throughout the day, throughout the the week. Is that would be like option number one? But the cooler, more exciting option would be if we could create this interactive thing, right?
Right. If we can pull off a virtual interactivity, that would be, I think, productive for the fire department as well as, whatever. I'm not just trying to, show off tricks or whatever with FairTV. I want to give the fire department what they need. And an interactive feature, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to repost this piece that we did with Kim. Phil, did you ever locate it? Were you able to watch it, or?
No, sir. The only thing is that I recall it from many years ago.
Yeah, it is from many years ago, but it does encompass all the elements that you're talking about. Just we need to expand on it into a half-hour lesson, right?
Correct. It's roughly 30 minutes
per grade level.
And here's one of my concerns. I mean, I thank you all for your support. Is the 4th and 5th grade presentations? We're looking at every 4th and 5th grade class in every school. So I think the Plan A that you were talking about earlier, Plan 1, is that we shoot just one program and deliver it to the school system,
to everybody,
and have the teachers select, which day or what time frame during the day that their class can then view this. I love being personal and interactive with the students. That's why we've been doing it. Getting into the classroom and having the, the question and answers at the end or during the program. That's a win-win for us. But I'm just looking at, is that going to be possible?
Well, there is one way we can address it and not necessarily get into too much tech, and that is we could create the nuts and bolts part of each grade level. In other words, the visual elements, like we did when the kids went into the smoke room and they crawled out and stuff like that. Or, in the case of home safety, we could do the elements of, kitchen fire or, unattended candles or however you want to, structure that. And then at the end of that could be like a 15-minute piece. And at the end of that, you could enter the classroom virtually on your telephone, by dialing in just like we are now. And then you could do a Q&A. How does that sound?
I mean, my suggestion we do in here is we do it as simply as possible for now. We can always augment this somewhere down the road, but for this moment in time, since we have so many obstacles, is that maybe option A or 1. We just do that, get the class shot, get it in the can, and then if we need to, we can always augment or supplement it somewhere down the line.
And that is why you are the mighty Quinn.
We can do that, and I mean, like I say, we can bring a production kit into a firehouse, and find a reasonable low spot that's got some lighting, and we don't have a ton of extra lighting, but we can add some lighting. But what about props and whatnot? I mean, do you want to restage that smoke crawl out thing? I mean, we do have that footage. It is viable.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a portion of the life safety trailer program. If you still have it and it works, that would absolutely be beneficial. If not, again, that's part of our program. So we do have the trailer. The trailer's ready to go. There could be, the smoke machine, as well as Lieutenant Smith, who is the PIO and pretty much the face of this. He was one of the original founders of the life safety trailer. He would be the one lead instructor for that particular piece. Mm-hmm. So we have everything ready to go as well.
Well, I'm hopeful that we can recycle some of this stuff that we may have. It's dependent on you guys, but you're talking about 4 half-hour shows, which is really 4 full days of production, approximately, because you don't just do it in one
It's 3 programs, but.
Oh, well, it's still in all. It's not just you talk and we'll roll the camera. It's, a little more than that. And we're, in an effort to manage costs, what we do have, if it's viable, fine. If not, we'll do it. But I think this is where you and I need to sit down and with Will, the producer, and figure out what we need to get and lay out each show. If you want to do it as each show fully captured for rebroadcast, then we do need to sit down and figure out those elements, props, all the things that are part of each segment.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
We just need to set that up and get it squared away. And I'm going to need the reason why I get at it, we need enough time. So, let's say they start out hybrid and then they suddenly go, when do you usually present these elements?
I'm sorry, can you repeat, sir?
What is your plan to present them at the schools?
So the life safety trailer, we start off with a classroom setting and then move outside to the life safety trailer itself.
What date?
Oh, okay. So the life safety trailer occurs usually in fire prevention month, which is October. And then the 4th and 5th grade classes are right around March, and the 6th grade presentations in April.
Wow. Okay. So it's spread out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the thing is that if we need to make them, we should make them all at the same time, and then you present them when you present them. If we need to make them,
absolutely.
Well, hey, if you don't mind, just a quick question. I'm sorry, Fire Marshal, is it?
No, it's Phil. You can close it.
Phil, thank you, Phil. So, is when you do your presentation, are you kind of thinking you would be standing out in front of this trailer? I did a project with the smoke trailer that New Haven has. It was pretty cool, and kids went in and the whole bit, right? So I don't know if that's the same kind of thing, but are you envisioning you kind of out there talking and then going through the motions, and it's a simple thing, or do you want a more like what Jerry's talking about, like a nicely produced piece, which I think Jerry would do a wonderful job with if we have the time and if you guys are able to. But if you need something quicker, I mean, that's okay too. We just got to figure out, like, we want to deliver the coolest thing possible, and I think that's where Jerry's got some great ideas, and I don't want to, take away from that. But if you just need something quick and dirty, that's you got to let us know.
Members of the board, I defer to your expertise.
I think we want to do it a little bit better production values, because once again, there are going to be people that if we did it quick and dirty, we'll put it on the air. There are going to be people saying that we're slacking, and so we'll sit down. Jerry will figure out a script. We'll figure out logistics,
okay,
and then we'll do this. And
Stu,
okay,
Jake
good point.
Here.
Good point. Thank you.
Do you want to set up a subcommittee on this? Maybe,
sure.
I know Alex has got a lot of web experience. Maybe he could pinpoint. I mean, I don't want to volunteer, Alex, but you've got the experience in this department. I just totally volunteered.
Alex, you can kind of spearhead it.
I would be happy to.
But, and Alex, I'm happy to help you with that. If you want some assistance, I'm happy to be on board as well.
Okay. Well,
just bring your trench coat.
I want to make sure that we if we're gonna do it right, that we do it Jerry's way, and I'm all for it, and I'm excited to learn and work with you on that a little bit, Jerry. I think that'll be really fun and a great way to kind of get to know like how you go about doing what you do.
So we'll move forward on this then.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a piece that we made 10 years ago, so you kind of get an idea of what we're headed towards, and then we'll sit down with Phil, and we'll lay out the 3 programs, and then we'll go at it. How's that?
Cool.
Sounds
awesome.
Good.
So I'm going to make a motion that we, as a commission, we move forward with exploring the possibility of producing fire safety and prevention videos with the Fairfield Town Department.
I'll second it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
Thank you, Phil.
Great.
All right, so
thank you very much.
We'll obviously, Jerry,
thanks a lot.
Some of us will be in touch, and we'll go forward. Looking forward to doing it.
Thank you very, very much.
Phil, thank you very
much.
much.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Anything else to cover? Mighty Quinn, anything else to cover?
No, I just wanted, Alex, you asked me to do something, send an email or something. What was that?
Oh yeah, sorry. If you don't mind, just like copying everyone. You have.
That way we all have everybody's email address.
Yeah, and I'll fire off tonight. Like as soon as I get that email, I'm going to send everybody a reply so you can all look at the business card. Check it for if you like it. If you like the layout, it's very simple. Make sure in case you see any grammatical errors, I'm no professor, but just another few sets of eyes on that kind of stuff would be very helpful. Double check the phone numbers and the email address on it, and then if everybody's good, I'll send it off.
We'll go forward. Great. Perfect.
Excellent. The last thing I've got is any slide requests.
No slides.
No slides.
No slides. All right.
Then that moves us to the good old good of the order.
And next is I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second said motion.
All right. And then I will talk to the town about our next meeting if we can do it, and I'll let everybody know.
That's awesome. I would love to do something live if possible. If not, it is what it is. We're all understanding.
All we can do is try.
But we can't but ask, right?
Yep.
Very cool. Hey,
thanks, everybody.
Jerry, great job getting moving on these videos. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very good.
Thanks everybody for welcoming me in. Certainly do my best to move the needle. Take care, guys.
Excellent. Keep it up, guys.
Thanks, Patrick.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Okay,
bye now.
Bye-bye. Let me just end this, and then I'm going to talk to you.